Hey guys, happy full moon. I'm pre-recording this. So this full moon, we're having a lunar eclipse, and lunar eclipses can bring those heavy energies. So I really wanted to keep the audios I'll be making really light and breezy, and cheerful. So today's topic is gonna be glamour spells. So you guys, when you heard of me, you probably heard about my love spells or my tarot readings, but I'm also known for my glamours, and I really love glamour spells because they have helped me so much when I was in the worst period. I guess the hardest period of growing up, and I wanted to share that story with you. It is personal, and I don't always feel comfortable sharing a lot of personal details because I feel I'm oversharing and maybe you're not interested. But I know that a lot of you love my stories, so I have decided to share a bit about my glamour journey. Glamour spell is my favorite spell, honestly, in terms of spells that I do for myself. Um, I really love them and I keep them affordable because I want them to be available for everyone. So, where do I start? Okay, those of you who have been on the channel for a while, you already know this, but for everyone else, when I was a child, I was extremely skinny. And when I say extremely skinny, I mean skin and bones, like extremely skinny. I don't mean just a skinny kid. I mean extremely skinny kid, extremely skinny. And my whole childhood, I was very bullied for that. And I'm not exaggerating at all when I tell you that I developed social anxiety because of that bullying, and it was really, really difficult for me to handle because I had absolutely nobody that would help me out with this. Every single person was making fun of me. I was being insulted because of the way I looked on a daily basis, and it was not my fault that I was skinny. I wasn't ill or anything, I was just skinny. So I was literally insulted on a daily basis by other kids, by grown ups, by teachers, by pretty much everybody commented on my weight. Everybody made fun of it or made comments about it or were just like grossed by it. And that was my reality. That was my life. This is not exaggerated. It was like that, and it was really painful. And then, as you also probably know, if you've been on the channel for a while, I started doing magic when I was a child as well. And I started doing spells spontaneously, unaware that I was actually doing magic. And then, when I was around 15, so I was a teenager, I was still extremely skinny, skin and bones. I was still being insulted on a daily basis. And it kind of became even worse because when you are a teenager, you are, hormonal. It was just much harder, especially because everybody around me was getting curves, was going on dates, was living this completely different life than I was, and I still looked like a little kid. People would assume I'm 10 years old when I was 15, without exaggeration again. And it was just really difficult. So since I was already doing rituals, and I wasn't aware exactly, well, at 15 I already was kind of aware about my rituals, and I knew that they worked. I have decided to do a ritual for my appearance. And I was actually inspired by this one girl that after the summer holidays came back to school and she had this beautiful, pronounced, perky butt. Yeah. And at the time, I had no idea that this girl developed that butt because she was actually playing handball professionally, and she was, just built like an athlete. I wasn't aware that working out and doing physical activity was connected with how your body looks. I had no idea. And Also, I did not do any sports when I was young ever because I was not good at it, and I even avoided the I can't remember what is the name of the class you take in school where you do sports. PhD or something? No, no, it's not. PA. I don't know. Anyways, I avoided that class because I was embarrassed. Everybody made fun of me because I couldn't do sports. I had bad grades at it, and I would just not go. I would pretend I had my period or something, and yeah, I even avoided that. So I absolutely did no sports up until my 30s when I started working out. So just this is going to be important for the rest of the story. So I had no idea how that girl achieved her butt, but I was like, I want that butt. I want to have a butt like that. I really thought it was gorgeous. I really liked it and I wanted it. So she came back after summer holidays with that butt. So I've decided next year I'm going to do the same. And I remember it was the summer holidays, they just started, and I did a ritual. And my intentions, that was my first glamour spell, which I didn't know what it was called back then. But it was my first glamour spell, or how I called it beauty spell, which essentially is a good name. So I did a ritual for the booty and, of course, to gain weight because I was extremely skinny. I was bullied for it. I wanted to be of normal weight. And in just like 2 months, so the summer holiday here is like 2.5 months. So yeah, in about 2 months, I have gained weight, and I was still thin, I was still slim, um, but like normal weight. So I gained a lot of weight. And yes, I did start eating more basically because obviously you need to do things. It will not just happen abracadabra. I did start eating more. That was the only thing I did. And I wasn't overeating or anything like that. I was just eating like a normal person. So I started eating normally and I gained weight. And yes, that's maybe something that I could have done without a spell, you would say. But for me, I had, I just I guess it was mental issues or something. I just could not eat. So I started eating after I performed that spell, and I got that perky butt, that perky big butt. And it was like really prominent on my slim body, and it looked amazing. And I did not do any sports for it, none at all. And I know some people are built like that, but I was not. I was like, there was nothing, no curves, nothing. Um, and it doesn't run in my family. So whatever. Anyways, I suddenly had this butt after this glamour spell. And suddenly my whole life changed, right? Because boys started noticing me. Nobody bullied me anymore. Nobody called me ugly. Nobody called me skinny. Nobody called me names. Nobody was grossed out by me. Everything changed. That one glamour spell changed my life. It changed my life, guys. And this is why I love them so much. And I wanted you to know that. That glamour spell completely changed how people perceived me. Um, I suddenly became attractive. My energy changed as well, obviously, in terms with everything. And from that moment on, I started performing glamour spells on a regular basis for myself. So glamour spells have, done a lot for me. And this is the most important part. And I have a lot of glamour stories for myself that I'm not sure if you would be interested in hearing because I guess I would kind of feel like maybe I don't know, bragging or something, which I absolutely don't want to do. I am not that type of person. Um, so this is why I don't really post about my glamours a lot. But I will just say this: I have not worn a foundation. I don't own a foundation. I have not worn a foundation in 7 or 8 years, not once. My skin looks amazing. It just honestly does. And I just really love glamour spells, guys. You have no idea how much I love them. So I wanted to share that story because that one glamour spell literally changed my whole life. And it was such a drastic change. It wasn't just a subtle, small change, it was very drastic. And yeah, I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for magic. So I hope this inspires you. I did not share this to brag about it. Obviously, that was so long ago. I was 15. I don't even want to say how many years ago. But I will never forget it, and I will never stop being grateful, ever. I will never take it for granted, ever. So, yeah, love the glamours. Anyways, I hope this was entertaining. I hope you're doing well. I hope the full moon energy is, being light on you. And I love you guys as always. Bye.